Hey guys, back out around the fire pit today, because for a long time I've been wondering if you can cook a frozen pizza over a campfire. And I did some Google searches and stuff online, and for the most part I came up with the answer being no, you really can't. But I think I might have come up with a way that you actually can, and we're going to try that today. Okay, so I altered the fire pit a little bit. I added, kind of stacked up some of these blocks and made it like a little smaller and put this cheap tray on here so that I could set the thing I'm going to use to actually cook the pizza in on. So we'll see how this works. I'm going to get a fire started and then we'll get this pizza cooking. Nail polish remover. This stuff is extremely flammable. Should make starting this very easy. Yep, that's all it takes. That stuff is super flammable. So I got a decent fire going. It's not really big yet, but we'll start getting everything ready while it continues to burn here. So my idea is I have this thing. It's actually used for grills to grill vegetables. Is actually what I had gotten it for years ago. I never really used it for that though, but I'm going to try to line it with some heavy-duty tin foil, and I got this square pizza that'll fit like right inside here. And I'm hoping if you create like an oven-like area that it will cook the pizza kind of like it's in an oven. Okay. She's back. All right, so let's try this. And I'm actually, I think, going to wrap it on the outside so that if it does start to burn it, it doesn't burn it to the pizza. I don't know if that's going to work, but that's what we're going to try. Put the pizza inside and then do the top. And this says to cook at 450 for 12 to 14 minutes. So we'll check it after 14, but it likely will need longer than that. Okay, that fits right in there. There we go. Okay. Put that over the fire, and Yeah, you can see it. And we'll let that cook for 14 minutes. I'll set the timer on my phone and we'll check on it in 14 minutes and see how it is doing. So the thing so far that I'm finding the most difficult about this is keeping the flame high enough so that it's getting up to where the pizza is, but not letting it go too far where it's going to just burn through everything there. So far it's been doing okay. We're at 8 minutes in, or 8 minutes left, 6 minutes in, and I'll catch back in with you when we get just a little bit closer. Okay, so we're getting close. We're getting close to when it's the time to check on it. Now I know that if it takes 14 minutes in an oven, it's not going to be done in 14 minutes. But let's show you kind of what it's doing right now. So I got the flame, oh, it just bursted up. I've been really trying to control the flame and keep it lower so it doesn't actually burn up as high as the pan too much. But it's been a constant, just feed it a little bit and try and keep it going. But so far it's been doing pretty good. I've been able to keep it like pretty low so it's just coming up just to it and not really burning the tinfoil at all. When the alarm goes off, we'll check it and we'll see. Yeah, 5 seconds left. We'll check it and then we'll see what, there it goes. And we'll see how bad the tinfoil got burned and how well the pizza is cooked, at least so far. So I removed it from the fire and it's not cooked much at all. Take a closer look at that. So it's not really all that cooked at all. So basically I'm going to put the cover back on. It's not burned through yet. I'm going to put the cover back on, put it back on, and we'll cook it for a little bit longer. I've been able to keep the flame just right to where it needs to be, but I'm not sure that this 10 minutes is even going to be enough. I think you'd almost need something covering it maybe, but we'll see. But I think it works really well because the blocks are on both sides and it kind of creates a tunnel. And it's not very windy today, so I've been having to really blow in there to keep the flame at about the right level. But so far it's been working okay, and we're gonna check it here in a second. Okay, so let's pull this thing off again and see if any of that cheese has started melting yet. It's hard to say. So this grate's really hot, so I'm not sticking my finger in there. So just if I opened it up and see. Oh, it's getting warm. It's getting warm. Let's we'll give it another 10 minutes and see what happens. Okay, so we're getting close to the end of the second 10 minutes. So we're looking at 34 minutes so far. The initial 14, 10 additional, plus 10 more additional. So let's see how it looks. It was starting to be cooked. It was getting warm. It didn't look like the pizza normally looks when you cook it. So it's possible that maybe cooking it this way doesn't do it very well. But let's pull it off the fire and take a look and see what it looks like. Okay, so the cheese is actually melted. Let's get you a better shot of that. The cheese is actually melted on here. It doesn't look like it is, but it's actually melted when I touch it. So I'm gonna try and pull it off of there and cook it and see, or pull it off and cut it up and just see what it looks like. But you can see on here, there's a few holes. Actually, oh, there's a small one that burned through. There's a few holes that burned through, but for the most part, I was able to keep the fire down so it didn't burn. I was able to keep this from burning too bad on the bottom. You can see it changed color. You can see the flame actually, hit it pretty good, but it didn't really burn through. There's one spot that looks like it might have, but for the most part, using the heavy-duty tinfoil really held up. Now we'll cut this thing up and we'll see, what it tastes like. It's even a little crispy. So yeah, I cut and you could hear it. It's crispy. You can hear it. And the cheese is done. It just doesn't look the same color as it normally looks. Let's try this thing out. It really doesn't look, the cheese actually has a little, I don't know, it doesn't look too bad. The bottom, I don't know if you can see that up there. The bottom looks just like it would if you cooked it, if you didn't get any brown on it. Okay, let me fix this camera. Okay, so I'll give you a closer up look at this. That's the bottom of it. And from the top, you can't even, it doesn't look like the cheese is melted, but when you touch it, it is. And when you look at it, it's just got like a, like when you cook pizza and it lands, or if you cook cheese, and it lands in the pan when you're trying to cook it, and it gets that little crispy brown stuff to it. That's kind of what the top of this has. Like, I think if I would have kept cooking it a little longer, it would all got that like brown, it landed in a hot pan cooked cheese look to it. But I already took one bite. I gotta tell you, you get a little bit of that smoky flavor from the smoke from the fire. The crust is way crispier than how it usually cooks in the house. I don't eat these exact pizzas too often, but I had one about a week ago that I cooked in the oven so that I knew what it tasted like. So when I cooked this one, I would know what it tasted like, if it tasted worse or better. And this almost tastes better. And it cooked up just fine. It doesn't look the same. I mean, you can see by looking at it that it doesn't look like, the cheese doesn't even look melted, and it's got a weird like tan color to it. But you definitely can cook a frozen pizza on a campfire. Good to know. Partly it probably worked because with the blocks on the side and that tray across the top, and I kept the fire from getting too high. And it probably created almost like an oven-like environment below the pizza so that the flame kind of, or the heat kind of stayed in one spot. And with the tinfoil, I think it probably just held in enough to cook it. So I cooked it for about 34 minutes. And it sat in the oven to cook it for 14. You maybe could have gone a little longer if you wanted it to have that little bit of a crispness to it, but it was almost perfect the way I cooked it. And I'm going to finish the rest of that as soon as I'm done with this video because it was really good. So if you ever wanted to know, can you cook a frozen pizza on a campfire? The answer is a definite yes. Find something to cook it in, wrap tin foil around it so that it creates like an oven, and yeah, you definitely can. If you like this kind of stuff, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.